I will be preparing a dish from the American Indians known as calache. This is well suited for you gardeners who get large squash, but squash from the grocers works fine. The only thing you need for this dish is onion, bacon, milk or cream, cheese, and our Mejor Sonoran spice blend. It has everything you need to make this classic mestizo dish. These giants that hid in your garden have some advantages. Also, the indigenous people would think those babies in the store were a waste of precious water and time. You will see why when I break this down. In a more mature squash, the seeds are beginning to mature. I'll take this down even farther so we can get a better look. These semi-mature seeds are not hard, but actually give the dish a light nutty flavor and texture. I am only peeling them part way. I want some color and flavor, but it can get tough and a little bitter. It's important to cut the pieces about the same size, even if it takes a little more work. When the squash cook, there is a moment where it goes between being just done and just mush. I'm ready for a pot and a lid. Only a little salt now, as bacon and cheese will add more later. And just a little water. I don't need a lot, as the squash will sweat and make its own liquid. And now I'm ready to sweat that down. While the squash is cooking, I want to get the bacon and onion prepared for the final dish. I don't need a lot of onion. It's for flavor, not an integral part of the finished product. Native Americans would have used dried and salted game meat, but smoked buffalo is terribly hard to find. I'll use bacon. I need to pay attention to the squash too. It needs to be stirred occasionally, and I'm watching for the centers to begin to soften. As the squash releases more water, be careful, it will cook faster now. I'm starting the bacon in a cold pan. This is even a good idea for your breakfast bacon. However, my main point here is watching for the squash to become more near completion. When the bacon begins to cook and the fat begins to render, it's time to add some onion. Once those onions begin to clear, I'm getting ready to add the Mejor Sonoran spice blend. Now when I add that, it's slightly critical because it's going to toast very quickly. And there's a point at where I want to stop that toast. I'll add the spice and wait for that to get slightly darker. And I can't resist wafting that smell. I'm going to quickly add the squash to stop that toasting process. I prefer this squash to be in larger pieces, but as a boy, my mother would cook that to mush, but it is still absolutely delicious. So don't throw that out. Now remember, this is a cheese sauce, so I'm adding a small amount of cream and bringing that to a nice simmer. Once that's hot, I can add the cheddar cheese. I'm using cheddar, but any soft grating cheese will work fine, like cotija or quesera. It's ready to taste and rectify flavors. I think I would like a little more Sonora blend. You may wish a little salt. And now this is ready. This is truly a family and friend favorite.